How do you feel? Woo! Better! Cool. I think cameraman will not like me because I will move around, so but never mind. Hello, YouTube. Actually, can I ask like for some small activity? Okay or not? Just show like okay or not? Okay or not? Okay or not? People participate. Also introverts. Show your hands. Cool. So if you can put your mobiles away, and we will just do some small stand-up like with your hands, and I will send actually short video to other DevFest. That what is the atmosphere here? Does it sound good? Yeah. Cool. And so we will start here. We will do Mexican way. Okay. We will start here, and we'll go there, and we can go also back. Okay. Cool. So just check people around you, and I will start with. Hi, so I'm in DevFest Baltics, and this is the atmosphere here. Woo! Woo! Whoa! See you back then. Woo! Thank you very much. So I'm coming from Google, and I came here to tell you like two things, but you need to choose which one you want. You want to hear facts, or you want to hear a story? Okay, so let's give you a story. Okay, you chose. So, there was a monk, and this monk was very wise, and he was well known, and he was giving advices to people. So, people were coming to him with many problems. And once, there was a woman with one small kid, really fat one, and she asked him to advise her son actually to not eat candies because he's fat. So this monk looked at this woman, looked at the kid, and he said, "Can you come in 2 weeks?" She was like, "What?" Okay. He was respectful, so she respected him. So she returned in 2 weeks. She knocked on this temple, she walked in, she greets the monk, and she asked him again, "Dear monk, you're so wise, you're so well known, can you please advise my son to not eat candies because he's fat?" And this monk, he looked at the son, and he said, "Don't eat candies." She was also in the same way as you are. She was wondering like what just happened, like why this situation didn't happen actually 2 weeks ago. And so she was like politely just asking like, "Okay, dear monk, but like why we were waiting for 2 weeks? Like he was still eating candies, he's getting more fat." And he responded, "Because 2 weeks ago I used to eat candies too. And now I tried it, so now I know what I'm talking about and I can advise others." So what I'm going to talk about is purely just experience, because I don't like when somebody is just browsing the internet, showing some great pictures and actually never experienced anything of that. So I will try to just guide you through my story and also to give you some really good, tangible advices how to become actually more and more valuable in IT world, and also how to find your talent and how to find something you can have a passion to work in. So let's get started. Boom! There are so many people, and including me, thinking that there are many more people more talented than you are. The answer is yes, they are, because maybe in the field you are, or in the combination we are currently actually standing in our position, there are people who can do it much better. The question is the time, the question is the skill, the question is the experience, the question is our age, the question is what is our hobby, and actually if we are enthusiastic of it or not. And then we actually understand that when we achieve some great results, achieve some amazing, we just find out it was not just pure talent, but it's really, really all about our effort, what we want to do in our life. So my short story actually starts when I went from elementary school to high school. In elementary school, I was this kind of, how to say it, I was not very popular. I was going to the classroom, what was like not very popular. We were calling like, these are the stupid kids. and they will never get actually, and even our teachers were telling us, like, don't even try. You're not as clever as these other kids because they went through some amazing tests that they passed. So when I went to high school, actually the first thing I thought to myself that let's change it because nobody knew me in this high school, so I could do anything. So from the first day, when there was a question like who is going to find something inside the school you've never been to, I just raised my hand like, okay, let's do that. I've never been there, so I just went out and I did something. And step by step, I entered this kind of acting school because I always wanted to do something like, it's like, whoa, like let's try, just do some acting or do some action and with other classmates and to have, make some fun. And in that time, I just realized it's not about talking, it's about voice and other interactions because I went to a performance and we performed in front of like few of our friends and I said one sentence and nobody laughed. I was like, oh my gosh, it was actually funny what I said. And then I realized, okay, I need to change how I say it. So I need to act, I need to move with my body. So then I moved with my body and I changed my voice. It's like for 3 years. And after that, when I joined university, I joined these amazing organizations called ISEC. How many of you have ever heard about ISEC? Cool, cool, amazing. And how many of you have been in ISEC? Okay, we got some ISECers here, super cool. So it's an international organization actually run just by students. And you can upgrade your skills, you can have soft skills, hard skills, or regarding selling, regarding organization, event management, interpersonal relationship, and also you're helping world with internships all around the world. So it's amazing also for huge companies like Accenture, Microsoft, Google, and others. So they are getting actually very talented students from different countries. So when I entered ISEC, I just realized like, whoa, my management skill is actually super directive. I should change it. I should listen to people. I should be better actually in listening during the meeting. So I actually built up myself. Before I was just this kind of funny guy who was talking all the time. And then after ISEC, I started to listen. So sometimes I just sit down and I was listening during the meeting. It is super helpful actually to also listen. And on the way, I just find out that there are some missing solutions in Slovakia, where I'm coming from, and so I just said to myself like, whoa, let's do these kind of things like everybody else is doing my web pages. So I created one. Now 50% of the students go there to get some materials in Slovakia. It's for high school, this kind of maturity exam. And then when I was studying in my homeland. My one dream when I was also in elementary school was to study abroad. But you know, in elementary school, I was not a cool kid. I was this kind of like stupid kid for all others. So we were never actually asked to go for any kind of representation of the school, any kind of math Olympics. We were not even asked because it was immediately said like these guys, these girls in this classroom, they will never make it. So I thought to myself, like all these famous, amazing people, they were studying abroad, and they were working abroad, and I didn't see the pattern. I was like, okay, I want to be the cool kid. I want to study abroad. I didn't know why. So I actually, during the high school, I started to learn English. So in 4 years, I had to actually build myself, and also during the ISEC, it was all English. So I built my skills, and there was suddenly that opportunity to go to Finland. But it was not just like this, like, yes, let's go to Finland, let's pack my stuff. It was an interview. So you have to go, actually, to meet a Finnish teacher, and they need to interview you, and they need to ask you several questions. And with your Slovak English, you need to actually explain yourself. So, and there, I remember till now, one question which changed actually everything what I do in my life, and it changed thanks to actually ISEC, what I learned. And the question was, okay, Jozef, so you're going to Finland to study, but you have this special program and you need to find an internship there. And you're going to compete on the local market with local people and all others actually from abroad. Can you do that? In that time, I was like, okay, Jozef, never mind. go back to dormitory, you will just play Counter-Strike, everything will be fine, comfort zone will be not like actually, everything will just easy, you know where is the food, or you know how to do web pages, you will just enjoy life. So this went through my head, and I answered, yes, of course! So I thought to myself, like, okay, let's do a challenge, let's take it, and let's build something new. So actually in this Finland, I went to Jyväskylä, then I went also to Riga, Tallinn and Vilnius to check these Baltic countries. And when I went there, I just found out this is not for the most clever kids actually, this studying abroad. Yeah, you had to know actually IT to get there, you had to know English to get there, but still, it was just for people who applied and who were brave enough to say, yes, I can do it. It was not for people with IQ here. It was not for people who managed some tests like here. It was for people who wanted to strive more. So it was like first lesson for me to be actually super active and proactive, and to ask people before actually getting to Finland. I went through several interviews, but I was leading them with many people who went there already. So actually, do you know how many students applied from my university for this scholarship? Guess number.
0.
0, okay. I wouldn't get there. Dude! It's 0, I wouldn't get there. But okay, thank you.
Jozef.
Something else, some other numbers. 5.
3.
1.
3. 1. 1 is correct. It was just me. The actually potential people were 200. Just one. Everybody knew about it, just one was brave enough to take this interview. Or just to send an email, because there is a barrier to send an email. I'm not going to communicate with the teacher. So I was the only one, and then I found out that also like the similar situation was also in other countries. That not so many people were actually active. They didn't want to do something else, but they were just in dormitory. So I took this advantage. I was in Finland, and there was another advantage. It was called Singapore. And in that time, oh my gosh, to be a cool kid and to have Singapore in your CV, ooh yeah! So I was really asking people like how to get there and what does it involve. But then again, this kind of life strikes again, and it pushes you back. And it pushed me back in a way that actually the teacher didn't want to allow international students to get into the program anymore. They were like 5 years, okay, and suddenly not. And I heard him, I told him like, okay, I hear what you're saying, and in 2 seconds in my head, I just thought to myself like, okay, what should I do to overcome this challenge? Because I'm not allowed to go there. But last time, they went there. So there had to be some change, I need to find why. He didn't want to tell me. So I just told him, okay, fair enough. I will just help you to get there. I will not go with you, but I will just help you to prepare and with all others. My original intention was to show him that I'm not an asshole. And to buy some time to find out what happened. Then I just found out that there was some Polish student buying marijuana in Indonesia, and it's illegal there. And he went to jail. And then they had to take him away. So it was actually super serious. And that's why I didn't want to actually deal with anybody else outside of Finland. But I got there! So I went to Singapore and I experienced this amazing country. And when I went back to Finland, suddenly change happened. Because I just understood that the initial motivation was to earn points, to be a cool kid, to have a great CV, to get somewhere. But then I understood actually when I travel abroad, and when I push boundaries, and when I meet new people, suddenly, I can actually achieve more things and I open my mindset. So if I'm just in my hometown, I will not learn as much as I learn when I'm outside of the comfort zone actually of my hometown. Does it make sense? So, when I went actually back to Finland, I just realized 2 things. Finland, Singapore, Slovakia, they all 3 of them have 5 million inhabitants. But they are in different landscape. Slovakia is this big, Finland is this big, and Singapore is not even on a map. It's so small island. And what I realized that they really, Finland and Singapore, they know how to care of the environment. So actually, these people, so they know how to manage, so it's not about landscape. But in Slovakia, it's full of trash, like next to the train station, and nobody actually cares. And then the question is it about landscape, or is it about actually approach of the people living inside the country? So what I did, I started a project called Threshold NGO, and then after that I learned some things about startup investors and pitching competitions, and I started another one, Invenzio, and eventually I got to Google. So if you want to hear like actually how it went through, you can ask me anywhere else, so it's a teaser, so you can ask me personally. So what I wanted to actually continue with is this talents and marathon race. So many people will tell you, yeah, startup, building a startup. How many of you have a startup? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like 5, okay, 4% of you have startup. Cool. How many of you actually are working in a company with less than 20 employees? So 10% of you. Okay, sounds cool. Sounds cool. So this is actually the proportion of this audience. And with the marathon race, so many people refer to this actually running a startup as a marathon race. But they refer to that as long. It's a long process. So one thing it gives you, if you talk about ideas, that you will steal my idea, go for it. If you want to invest 3 years into this idea, go for it. So you have limited time on this earth, it's up to you how you spend it. So actually it's long, but what they miss is actually preparation and planning. Not so many people actually, when they run startup, they have work-life balance. How many people do you know, they are CEOs, they're amazing, and they have working relationship with their wife or husband, they know their kids, they can exercise, they look good, and also like fit, and also they have really great performance at their work. So just find in your minds how many people you know. This was actually my question when I met every CEO on this planet. I just went to them, hi, I'm Jozef, so how is your life working balance? So how do you manage? So, and then actually, out of 30 CEOs I met so far, there was just one right answer, that he has working relationship, working kids, otherwise they're just like crying that nothing works actually, just work. So it needs to be planned, and it needs to be planned not in a way that, yeah, I'm going to run a startup, that actually you need to take breaks, you need to plan breaks, you need to take your vacations, you need to find friends, and this is all what I didn't do actually running my startup. I was just running a startup, 14 hours a day. Yeah, we went somewhere, we went to 100 countries, but actually I didn't like it. So I just didn't, I find out it is not sustainable. So with marathon race, for example, last thing I just actually learned that you cannot run on sugar. Like, what the hell? And how do you run it? Running on fat. What does it mean? Well, you need to change your metabolism before running a marathon from sugar to fat to run longer, because then you are running out. What? So it means I need to get ready myself to run a startup. So it's up to you. It's up to you how you actually get ready, and also like to be a manager. So it's not about being a manager, great manager from day zero. It's about, can you learn? Can you take actually further steps? Can you actually get out of your comfort zone? How many of you heard about comfort zone? Cool. And now I tell you one thing what I learned from the best mentors, actually who are coaching Olympic players. It's not about actually, it's just half true. When somebody tells you get out of your comfort zone, they will not tell you one thing. When you get out of your comfort zone, you will experience stress. It's going to be super stressful because you've never been there. I went to Finland, I answered some questions, I went to an interview, first job interview. It's a stress. But actually, the difference is when you have 200 kilograms and you want to run 1 kilometer. I think like in 20, we can actually say that in 50 meters you will be like totally exhausted, you will not like it at all, and you will not achieve 1 kilometer. So it's not even comfort zone, it's a stress zone. So it's like you, comfort zone, and stress zone. The question is, how do you expand your comfort zone? How do you expand it? How do you expand it? That's the thing. How can you actually learn new language, programming language, faster? How can you learn more things when they are small and step by step actually expanding it? And with this stress, so what does it mean? It does not mean to speak, for example, with speaking. Like, how many people are actually afraid to speak in front of others? Cool, some brave people will raise your hands, like thumbs up, 20% of you. All others, you can just come in and talk with me? Sure, okay, thank you, you're brave enough. Cool, thank you. So with the speaking skills, is a great tangible actually example. Don't go and talk in front of 2,000 people. It's not going to be even out of your comfort zone. It's going to be stress zone and you are going to kill yourself or you will not talk at all. Try to talk in front of your sibling. Try to talk in front of your friend. Then 2 friends, then 3 friends, then 3 friends and 1 stranger. Then 3 friends and 2 strangers. Then talk in front of your classroom. Then talk in front of some small community like Google Developer Group. In local environment, which is super safe. Does it make sense? Do not jump on some huge DevFest conference and I have 0 actually communication skills, but let's do that because it sounds cool and I want to be there. So, and then you actually don't go out of your comfort zone when you talk in front of 100 people anymore. It's not just on the edge. It's okay for you. It's not so big stress. Then 500, that's the challenge. Go for it. Then 1,000. So step by step you actually build yourself. But how to get to these actually opportunities? How to get out of your comfort zone and how to be selected as a speaker and how to meet new people and also to run actually your startup. Well, eventually you have to, I'm sorry to say, you need to become networking or network queen. Your parents met somehow. Ask them how they met. They were not just like assigned to one flat, hey, you two live together. They met somehow, then had to talk. It was maybe weird conversation, they were maybe intoxicated, who knows, yeah? But it went well. They met again and again and again and again, boom, you were born. So, with networking, it's again stepping out of your comfort zone. So you cannot, for example, if you are introvert, it's actually in different situation than extrovert. But you can do that. And the way how I do it, because I'm half and half. Sometimes I'm introvert, sometimes I'm extrovert. Depends. So actually, how I do it with this kind of networking tips, and I always have some drink with me. So let's say in Baltics you like beer, right? So those of you who like wine, wine. Those of you who like a lemon water, lemon water. It's okay. Keep it in your left hand. Keep it in your left hand. Why left hand? Can somebody tell me why left hand?
Because you can greet other people.
Oh my gosh, high five. Yes, you can greet other people. Exactly. So, you can greet other people, and there was a study. People with a drink, they look more reliable. They did a study during a disco and also some events. So people without drink, they don't like, it's less. It's not that they are not reliable at all, they are just less reliable and trustworthy. So just keep your drink, you don't have to even drink it. Maybe it's disgusting, but you just keep it. And you talk to people, and the best way actually now how to actually, when you have your drink, and then there is an eating opportunity. I use this trick, and I had to use it actually when I was pitching in a Pioneers competition in Vienna. And this trick was actually in how to eat with other people, how to meet more people. Imagine that you are selected to VIP pitching list, top 50 startups from all around the world who applied. There were like around 1,000 applications. And there were people from Stanford, Harvard, from Africa, from Asia. And you want to meet them. But usually what you end up doing, there is a table, you bring your food, and you talk to 3 people. because you eat food and you eat it with them. They might be super boring, or you just, okay, you are not interested in the talk, or they are not interested in you, or you just don't want to talk. So actually what I do, I go to...
Oh, such a reliable drink.
I go to the table with all dishes, and the only magic is that I don't eat one meal. I eat 5 meals. So I start with soup. I take soup, I come to the table. But now if I just tell you, come to the table and start talking, there is something missing. This kind of structured guide needs to be super great. There isn't to be actually action step. The action step is walking towards the table, and then you have one simple question. Nothing else worked for me better than just simple question. Hi, can I join you? Super simple. It's nothing like, is it free, or what kind of discussion do you have? You can use it. You can use whatever works for you. For me it works, hi, can I join you? Super simple, in your language, yeah? Or in English. You might be cool kid. Then I join, and actually there are two phases. There are two options actually. Is it cool discussions? Are they talking about drones? Ooh, I like drones. Or boring, I don't like anybody of them, or they have like private discussion and they want to involve me. So then, you would feel awkward, but you don't, because you're eating. You're eating, you're cool, you're okay. And then they want to talk, you talk. And actually, the third thing, what you need to know about this networking and like talking to people, is that when to finish and how to leave. It's super awkward, right? Even when you meet some other gender or the same gender based on your sexual preference on discotheque. How do you tell them, okay, bye? So here, you just finish your meal and say, it was great to talk to you, thank you. Or it was great to meet you, and you leave. And now comes the magic. You take the second meal, and you don't go to the same table. You go to another table, hi, can I join you? Boom. And you're there, you're eating, you're talking to people, and this way, I met incredible people. Actually, I met one of the finalists in this pitch. I met some great people in Harvard, and I met one guy who is a Mark Zuckerberg in Africa, and we become great friends. So I met actually like 5 people I kept in touch afterwards. If I would stay just with one table, I would get from 0 to 3, because there were just 3 people. So you can use it, it's up to you, how you actually interact with people, but just don't try it actually immediately, yeah, I'm going to be networking, boom, talking to everybody else. Because you got just limited energy and limited comfort zone. So how I do it on these kind of huge conferences, I just go to a few people, like 2, 3, 4, and then I go to my friends. I know already. I spend with them in a comfort zone with my friends, half an hour, and then I can explore the world again. And I meet 2 more people, and then I go back to my friends, because it was too much. Yeah, and this way, you can meet today, for example, 3 people. Normally you would meet just 1. But if you try it, it will be outstanding. And with networking, you can actually get to know people in huge companies who can help you actually Firebase with other things. You can meet people in Accenture who are local leaders, and they can let you know like when they have some open positions, or if you have struggled with some technology, and they can give you HoloLens. So it's the question, do you have actually somebody in your network to ask for it? The same goes with insurance. Do you have some people who mine Bitcoin? I have already 2. How 3 years ago? I had 0. I knew nothing. How many people are lawyers in your network? How many people, when something happens, you can ask for it? How many people are actually building on Firebase? When you want to move your project to Firebase, who do you ask? So this networking is actually not about just blah, 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 blah. I'm cool. Now it's actually building your super team around you. Your super team, your friends, and your super team, you can help them, and they can help you. There is much more inside, but we cannot go so deep. So today, there are people from Google, Microsoft, Accenture, and other startups and other great companies. Please go there and meet them, like read them, and ask them, for example, one simple question: why you are working there? Why are you there? So what do you like about this job? And sometimes they know how to answer. So this is actually a good opening question. And with also, like if you choose some great topic, AR Core, or Tango, or drones, you might get actually cool results. Or you just ask like, hey, what do you think about this Google guy talking in the morning. It's up to you how you open your conversation. And one of the most important things is to skill up. As I mentioned already, you get out of your comfort zone with this, skilling up. You get out, you meet new people, you work. This is how I end up building a mobile, a server side. I was doing a sales, I was leading a team, I was meeting investors, we were getting an investment, we were actually going out, winning pitching competition, because all the time I asked the right people and I was training really, really hard. Right, really hard, like you cannot imagine. I would leave the party at 8 p.m. saying bye because next day I have a pitching competition and I had to train for 6 hours. So if somebody asked me like, how many hours did you train? I was like 200. So it was not just, yeah, 3 minutes pitch, I will do it in 5 minutes. No, so we really trained. So actually, in the past, if you imagine that how many people were video blogging 10 years ago, everything changed. And we need to adapt. So it's up to you how you adapt. It's up to you how you actually expand your comfort zone. And if I do the change, for you it's like, I'm ready. It's just on the edge of the comfort zone. And if you are not, if you're just sitting in your comfort zone, you're just going to the same shop, you are going to the same cinema, you are living in a comfort zone, but you are not actually, you'll be in huge stress when something like this happens, that everybody around you are video blogging, or they are learning new technology like AI, and you don't know what is it actually. So, with all of this, now let's do something great for this planet. With your skills, when you really learn, you can do amazing things, and it depends on you how you actually use it. So for example, can you imagine like implication of the AI, some machine can read lips. Yes, you can think of spying people or other things. Or you can think of visually impaired people and improving, for example, these captions on YouTube. What if we can gather actually not just what this person talking, but how his lips or her lips actually are moving? So, and this is achieved already. We are living in this age. And also, this is an amazing example. I'm not sure if there is a sound. If it's not, never mind. But let's try. Or if too many of you are on a Wi-Fi. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry. I didn't make it. Never mind. There was actually you can see these AI experiments made by some Googlers, and they were trying to build a huge hash of sounds like this, and they were trying to actually match them next to each other, and that's much better than just naming them and looking for them in a file system. So check it out, AI experiments. And when I'm talking about skills, many people actually don't know what to do with their free time. So I was thinking of it, like what helped me a lot, and actually it was this kind of ISEC and all other projects I was doing in my free time, and this actually defined me. That is not what you're doing like in university, but the question is what you do in your free time. So this is what you should ask your future girlfriend, boyfriend, what do you do in your free time? If it's nothing and you expect them to actually do amazing things, it's not going to work. Maybe in 2 years they will change, they will get out of their comfort zone. So if you just check one of these, actually of 17 sustainable goals from United Nations, non-for-profit work is just outstanding. Look at these organizers, they are doing it non-for-profit, nobody is paying them because they love it. And if they don't want to do it, they will not do it. But they do it from pure joy, because of sense of community, because they want to be with others, and this is why actually it matters. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the monk story, I would not talk about it if I would not actually act like this. So this is my part. So this is an application we built together. We were like 8 people, it's still on, 100 countries, 14 languages, 40,000 illegal dumps, all around the world some cleanups, and we want to change actually how people recycle. So this is what pissed me off with Slovakia, and actually inspired me in Singapore and Finland, and I changed it. And if there is any other project doing the same thing, I will partner with them. There is right now program manager, and she's super open, so anybody comes with the same idea or they're in different countries, we're partnering with them. We are the biggest right now, and we want to partner with everybody. We just don't do it for ego. So we don't do it because like to have it in our CV. We do it because we like it. We do it in our free time, and we do it not for profit. So actually, this is my part. So just to sum up everything what we talked about today, do not stop learning. Get out of your comfort zone, and now it's not about getting out of your comfort zone, but expand your comfort zone. Step by step, don't do huge leaps. Meet new people, because they can actually be one of your power teams, and skill up, because there are so many new skills and so many new tools actually coming up every day, and you should find out if they were not built for yourself, because you have a unique mindset, unique soft skills. So maybe this AI, or maybe this AR, or maybe these drones, or maybe helping animals in Africa, this is your job to do because you're the best. So I hope you will enjoy this DevFest as much as actually I'm looking for, and enjoy it everybody, and please give a round of applause for the organizers. Thank you!